What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Coach's Box. A little technical difficulties to start. As you could probably see when we went live, it was me just looking kind of lost. So we're back.
Hey!
We're back.
We're back.
And for all of our audio listeners, since by watching this, I'm Chris Miller. I'll be running the board and screwing everything up. With me, usually, as always, when they actually get here on time, is Zac McVey. Say hi to everybody, Zac.
How we doing? Episode 103
103.
tonight.
And Mr. Laker himself, Coach Jason Jarvis.
We're going to have to devote some time to this. Because
there's going to be some time. Yeah, ripping on the Lakers. I can't help he's jealous that people want to talk about them, even when they suck.
They suck.
I hate LeBron, but I'm a Laker fan. I always have been.
We'll get into that.
Yes.
And with us filling the spot of Riley Blair, which
ratings is going up, baby.
Automatically have higher ratings. It's Coach Kevin Halley from St. Pius.
Good evening, everybody. Just want to know, it's now a 3-to-1 Lancer to Black Cat ratio.
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting in here today.
The ratio is very much in our favor.
Yes. Private to public.
I mean, it's always in your guys' favor at the private school.
Actually, if you add in the multiplier, there's like 7 of us.
That's true, but championship factor. Win some districts.
Has won before, so there's a lot of... In the last 6 years, you've won a district, right? Mm-hmm. I've won.
Yeah.
You've won. Yeah, so that goes up. We've got like 8 of us then.
Yeah.
Just by that.
That's nice. It's nice.
Anyway, Zac, let's get to some of our topics here.
Right into
Got a loaded show.
Man, it's almost a cornucopia of topics that we could bring up today.
Oh my gosh,
a potluck dinner.
He just said cornucopia.
Yeah.
Come on.
Hey, a hodgepodge of topics because there has been a lot of national news, not a lot of local stuff, because of all the flipping rain that has gone on. Yeah. How many ball games has your son been rained out?
They played one last week and they played one today.
What's that like?
I mean, we played last Tuesday when nobody played.
Yeah.
We went down to St. Vincent and played one ugly baseball game and won.
Hey. Ugly wins are better than pretty losses.
That's right. And then we went down to St. John, got our butts handed to us today.
They're good ball club.
They hit the crap out of the ball. They haven't played a whole lot of games either.
No, I think.
But their field down there, the Yanks field, that's why we were supposed to play Maplewood today. And Coach Dickerman does a great job of trying to, he was trying to get us games because, we want to play.
Yeah. At this point, you can only do so much
I
indoors.
saw Crystal City is keeping a track. They've had 9 rainouts.
That's just
9.
I can remember. This is going back almost 10 years, and we had 1 year out of Grandview. We only had 14 games. We went 7-7 because it was the first time that they hadn't had a losing record in either ever or decades. And it was 7-7. That was the record.
So you try to get that rain out just to make sure you didn't have it.
No, we would. Hey, we had a good team. We had a pretty darn good team. We were junior heavy. Kind of remind me a little bit of what Herky's kind of status is athletically in all their sports, where you just kind of junior loaded. But I don't know. It goes in cycles. So I've never heard of soccer getting rained out before. And you've had.
Are you really bringing up that?
I'm talking about rainouts.
Talk about soccer.
Rainouts.
You just brought up soccer, Chris.
Rainouts.
It's one of the really nice parts of having me on the show is we do get to talk some soccer. But we've had 3 soccer games rained out. 2 of them were on turf.
We're just talking about spring sports.
I'd rain them stupid things out too.
It's spring sports. We can talk about spring sports.
There we go. We can talk about the spring weather. How about that tornado that never transpired, which is a good thing. But
let's go.
It's a good thing.
Stupid tornado never did come. The next time it does.
No, the weather. You're canceling school and you're doing this and you're doing that and nothing happened.
Well, if you're an administrator, you're in a no-win situation all the time. It doesn't matter if it's snow, ice, tornado.
Do it.
It's raining hard.
You have to.
Somebody slips and falls on a hard frost.
Yeah.
Because they were going out to the bus, and oh my gosh, it's your fault because some Karen decides they're gonna go ahead and sue you because it's your fault that little Johnny doesn't know how to walk to the bus. Should have held his hand.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I mean, when they're 16, still got to.
Sometimes you got to walk to the bus. Have you ever met a 16-year-old that can't do anything?
We all have. We've all been 16.
Yeah,
I have one of those. Well, he's 17. But.
No, but you talk about local sports. I got to be a part of an event this past weekend. St. Pius X went up to Busch Stadium, and we played the St. Louis Patriots homeschool team. Baseball up there at Busch Stadium. It was my first time doing that. I know a lot of local schools, whether it's St. Pius, Hillsboro, if there's any other local schools that's been a part of that before. That was so cool. If I don't know what the process is. I think you got to sell so many tickets. But man, if to all of the local schools, big schools, small schools, JCC, MAAA, anybody that pays any attention to us, go do that. You talk about an experience for the kids, for the families. It was awesome. I mean, it was just really, really cool.
Oh, the whole day was really cool. It was all together in a section for a Cardinals game, and then you get to move down to that lower bowl, and it just the whole thing was fantastic.
Yeah. And they did it right, with player introductions, and then we actually had to. They broadcasted the actual game on the big screen. So after about the first inning, we had to tell our pitchers and catchers, hey, you got to change up your signs because they're broadcasting the game and everybody and their grandma can see what pitches you're calling. So that was something new that, it wasn't trash cans banging, but it was just the cameraman zooming in and saying, fastball. No, you got to change up. You got to mix up the signs. So, so you would think you look at on TV and you look at Busch and you see the grass and all of that, you think, man, it's here's the dirt, and then the grass. It's almost like buying AstroTurf at Home Depot or Lowe's or something. It's not that much grass to dirt ratio that you would think like out in a normal yard. It's crazy.
Yeah. At no point does a major league outfielder have to worry about the lip.
No, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
No.
So there's no lip to the training or the morning track or anything.
Nothing. It's just smooth.
I would put the camera on you, but you're enjoying your.
Yeah, I'm trying to eat.
You know what? Let's go ahead. Let's look at what Jason has there. He's got a smorgasbord of food.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you want a smorgasbord of food like Jason, why don't you just show up here at Herculaneum La Pachanga? What do you got there, Jason? What'd you order tonight?
Well, Zach ordered it for me. Usually I just get the steak, shrimp, quesadilla. They gave me all the fixings, but I don't have any silverware, so.
You can just eat it with your hand. Just shovel it right in your palate.
I'm
and give you a couple of.
Here, you want some chips?
Give you a couple of chips to scoop stuff up.
You can use some chips. There you go. Use them as boats.
There we go.
Boats.
So yeah, if you're craving some Mexican food and want all the fixins, and you want to pig out just like Jason after a hard day of mowing grass.
Yeah, I had to get that grass in before Easter, man.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's gonna rain tomorrow, like it does every day this week.
They just lucked out. you got some time.
Yeah.
But yeah, come on down to Herculaneum La Pachanga. They'll hook you up. They treat you right. Now, Zach, what else we got going on the show here?
All right, so
let's move on to some sports.
Talk about the Cardinal home opener. I mean, very successful, minus the 2 rainouts that they've already had.
I saw two guys at the show. No invites to any of us.
Did you get invited?
No, I didn't either.
Did you get invited?
I didn't get
we
invited.
aren't cool enough, I guess. I
I would have thought the Pius people. Miller was there.
No.
Blair
Hold on.
always
Can
leaves.
you get that?
Blair leaves me out on stuff all the time. I'm used to it. So, yeah, no
Man,
invite.
hey, what's really cool is carrying all this crap too and putting it up. So I guess I went ahead and got a free ticket from Blair.
How was it? How was the game?
It was great. I got to watch Pujols hit his first home run back.
Nice. How cool is that?
It was extremely cool. Like goosebumps cool. Like I felt like a little kid.
Yeah.
And to watch, it just really, I don't know. Aaron I just hit one, so everybody's pumped, and it was a bomb, and Pujols up, and everybody's for the most part it's pretty much everybody's standing and clapping. They're all still pretty stoked about Arenado. And I'm clapping, I'm still standing. I got my hand in my pocket on my phone, and I'm like, man, I should probably record this. No, I don't be that guy. First pitch, ding dong Johnson, bye bye. And I mean, it's like, oh my God! And the place just went nuts. I mean, it was already an 8 from Arenado, and it was a 10.
Did you read his quote or hear his quote?
Arenado's quote?
Yeah. It was pretty cool. He said, when I hit the home run, everybody was at a 4 or 5, and then, Pujols, we go back to back, and it went up to 12.
And I was there with him,
and I was there with the fans, too. I mean, that's exactly what you want to have happen if you're, Pujols and the Cardinals and all of the players.
How about Pujols told his manager he was hitting the first pitch he saw for a home run?
Well, he went 3 for 4 too. So I mean,
so you think he said he was like, he starts me off with a fastball, I'm leaving the yard with it.
Right.
Yeah.
and it just tells you what kind of a hitter he is still. I mean, he still can rake.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, what do you do today? He
went 1 for 3.
His last one was an absolute rocket to the third baseman.
I mean,
it's the rocket of a 5-3. But
and then you go back to the opening day, and he didn't get a hit, but man, those were loud outs. And
that was every one of his at bats on opening day wasn't a normal at bat.
Right.
Okay. Well, I'll say this: he's, according to his information, he's 42, give or take. Give or
What
take.
is this
According
like?
to
What is
his
this like a
information.
political poll, a ±3 or something? I don't.
That's standard deviation.
Don't you remember
Standard deviation of the Caribbean birthdays. But
Miguel Tejada? Miguel Tejada.
Tejada.
Whenever they had Real Sports or something on, and then he, they were doing the interview, and he was supposed to be, I don't remember at the time, 29.
Yeah.
And they brought out his actual birth certificate, and he's 31
Yeah.
on live TV.
People were worried about Pujols' age, but everybody that has talked about it has said he looks like he's 36, like when he was 35 and 36. He
looks good.
He looks really good.
What, coming back home, playing here?
He's
I mean,
getting a
that's
divorce.
But I mean,
You gotta lose weight when you do that.
You're back on the market, son.
He's a proud guy that wants to go out on a high note. It's going to be his last year.
Well,
and he wants to come back to St. Louis.
He didn't come back here to jack around.
He didn't want to be a hanger-on. He wanted to come back. He wanted to be productive and helpful. Can he pitch? Because that would be nice.
Okay, let me ask you something.
Ugh.
Here's your hypothetical question. So, what if I look for him, barring injury, God forbid, he continues to hit well. Mm-hmm. What if he has a good year?
Do
you come back?
I still think he goes out on this year.
I think Yachty and Waino and Pujols, they all go out together.
Even though Waino hasn't said it's his last year, I think Waino purposely is not saying it so that Yachty and Pujols gets that attention, because that's just not Waino's style in the first place.
Well, he needed some attention today. He
So,
did not look good today.
Well, let's talk about it. So
the
after
Brewers.
today, they're 3-2. St. Louis is 3-2 now. Early on in the year, it's, first, second week of the season, they're tied for first in the standings. Your boy O'Neill not hitting his weight, a whopping 176 batting average.
And that's when he curls with one arm.
Yeah, Yachty's 133,
Yachty's terrible.
DeYoung's 176, Goldschmidt's 188, and I know they say historically Goldschmidt's a slow starter.
Yeah. Well, that's what you expected out of DeYoung. DeYoung's gonna hit 190, 200, but probably hit 30 bombs.
Why hasn't Sosa? Has Sosa even played?
No.
Why?
And neither has Newbar played. No, both.
He was supposed to.
They got rained out.
He rained out.
Well, Jason's got all the fixings.
I'm eating them.
That's a loud ass spoon, man.
No kidding. Gave him a boat and see what happened there.
But this is what we said last week. At least this is what I said last week about it. You can't look at the analytics, and I know it's the first 2 weeks, week and a half. You can't look at the 2022 analytics of baseball and compare the Cardinals team to what you're trying to do with all of these other teams. You just can't do it. You have to say, we are who we are, and hopefully some guys get on base, and then turn doubles, maybe in the home runs, but you're going to have to manufacture runs. But we said this off here today. Edmond had the only run was a home run, and then you go back to the last game they played. All of their runs were via the home run. You're going to have to be able to do something besides hit a home run to win ball games.
I think they'll find a way to figure it out eventually. The offense is not this team's problem. Starting pitching is going to be this team's problem.
I agree with that.
And it's not even close. This team will score runs. The Brewers are a really good baseball team. They're going to win the division again because they have
Go ahead. What
way
all do
more
they
pitching.
have?
They have everything. Pitching,
Okay.
back end, bullpen, and offense. But you don't have to win the division. You just got to finish in at least second. Give yourself a chance.
Well, I mean, you got to make a wild card
You
at
gotta make a
least.
wild
Well,
card,
that's
yeah.
second place.
Well, but
Finish
if the
second.
NL West is really good,
Uh-huh.
then you don't get a shot.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
the Giants and the
They're
Dodgers
all
and the
really
Padres,
good.
oh my.
They're all going to beat up on each other.
Well, that happened
The
last
good news
year.
the Cardinals have is Cardinals have the Reds, the Pirates, and the Cubs an ass ton of times on their schedule.
Right.
So
Yeah.
But you can't have games like the other day where you're playing the Pirates and it should have been a walk in the park. And Matt's looked like absolute dog trash. I really want to say
it's
another
game
word,
one,
but
and it's game one. I mean, you're gonna
he was cruising, and then everything was.
he lost something in his mechanics, and the ball was up. All
Oh
the
yeah,
time,
it was
and
up,
it was up.
and then it was out.
with the game that we played at. We watched Michaelis, and he had 41 pitches in the first inning.
Yeah,
So
It's a
only
recipe
gave,
for success.
only gave up one run, but that you can only do that. You can't do that every day out. You can't do that all the time.
We should have added another pitcher. I mean,
We did. His name was Steve Matz.
we should have added another.
Oh,
So
Hudson, I mean, did he kind of struggled a little bit?
a little bit.
for somebody who hasn't really thrown in
There's
almost
too many question
years.
marks on this staff.
I know.
And it's
Well, we
just,
said-
I'm
Hudson.
actually okay with the bullpen. The bullpen is fine. They're not going to be fine if they continue to be stretched out and
I mean, look
overused.
at, I think they planned on Hicks and, gosh, slipped my head. Lieber used to be a closer. He's hurt.
Wait for it.
Always hurt.
Oh, Reyes.
Yeah, I think they were going to be like Hicks was going to start, Reyes would come in, or Reyes start. I think that's how they were going to do the fifth. And then now it's just Hicks. No, Hicks, what, going to go 3 innings again?
Well, I mean, heck, he went two innings the other day, and then I guess with the rain out because he was supposed to get
Yeah.
the start. But I don't know.
Silverware and napkin.
It's going to be a problem, and I would like to wait and see in the middle of May before I really start to kind of get close to pulling that panic button a little bit closer to me before I hit it. I'm not going to hit the panic button in April.
Week 2.
Yeah.
Right. And I get that. But I think today, and we'll see how the rest of the series goes in Milwaukee. But we've said this year after year after year. You don't win the division in April.
But you can sure lose it.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, you go back to the year when Chicago, rattled off. I mean, like they went 20-2 or whatever in the first 25, 30 games, and they got that big lead, and then they basically cruised the rest of the year. You want to get out as good as you can in March, April, because it gives you a little bit of breathing room in the dog days. Now, people have always said, well, hey, you want to play meaningful games come September, sure, but you know what? You'd also like to be able to have a little bit of cushion as well to say, hey, if I need to rest so-and-so when it's 105 out, then let's do that.
It's not like they're 1-6 either.
No. But who do they play?
They're 3-2.
Right.
It doesn't. I mean, anybody in the division is going to play those same teams.
Right.
The same number of times we are. We just get them earlier. So you want to get off to a good start, but 3-2 is not a bad start to get off to. It's not like they went 0-8. They're not the Baltimore Orioles who are just going to get pounded the whole year.
Yeah.
So I'm not anywhere close to hitting the panic button, but I'm worried about the starting pitching.
It is. Well, it is going to kind of go into our next topic, but while you're finishing your bite here, I don't understand, and you all said this, and you all got aggravated at me last week or whenever we talked about it, about how pitching isn't ready yet. I don't understand how your job as a major league pitcher or a major league starter is to go out and either one, throw strikes, and then two, throw pitches. And then whether it's the Cardinals or eventually what we're going to talk about with the Dodgers, why are you limiting your pitchers at 80 pitches, less than 90 pitches? Even if it's week one, even if it's start one, even if it's now going into your second start. I mean, guys, that's not even the max limit for junior high kids in the state of Missouri. 85 is the limit, and you're seeing professionals making $30 million a year, and they're 80 pitches at that.
I don't have an answer for that at that point because, well, one, I'm not Dave Roberts. I'm not the manager of the Dodgers. I don't know what happened. But I don't have an answer for that.
Explain what happened, Zach.
Well, on the Dodgers side, so they're playing San Fran the other night, and Kershaw is cruising. He has not a no-hitter. He has a perfect game going through 7 innings, and he's at 80 pitches, and Dave Roberts, the manager, pulls him.
No way.
Yes. Now.
No way would I do that.
Oh, right. And so the response or the retort when they asked Dave Roberts, because this isn't the first time when Kershaw's had a no-hitter.
It wasn't Kershaw. It was another pitcher.
Okay, another pitcher, but he's done this in the past. Hey, I got to worry about my pitcher's health. You know, we got to worry about the future, where the dog days, blah 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 blah. That jazz.
Let him eat,
That's what you get paid for,
dude. He's one of the best pitchers in the game. Let him eat. I mean, yeah, gonna pull a Tampa Bay and pull a guy. I mean, that's basically it's what.
Now, the difference between Tampa Bay and this
Well, that was at the end of the year. What are you doing?
It's very different. Kershaw, I think, even said himself, it was time. It was time for me to come out, and he was okay with it. Now, whether he actually meant that or he's saying that as to not show up as manager, I don't know. I can lean in the direction that I think it is, but I don't know that for sure.
Well, here's the.
What do you think Waino would have done if it was him?
Yachty probably would have walked over, stopped Marmol before he got to the field, walked him back to the dugout, and said, "Stay there until I tell you to come back out again," and then went and squatted back behind the plate. Because Yachty's the manager.
Here's a quote that I saw, and it said, "If it's a no-hitter, this is a quote or a tweet. If it's a no-hitter, whatever, yanking. Clayton Kershaw has thrown one. But there have been more than 220,000 games in MLB history. There have only been 23 perfect games. Everything, especially a pitch count of 80, is lining up. At least let Kershaw try. You cannot pull him." And that was Jeff Passan, his tweet. And he's right. You go back to the World Series with Tampa and Snell, and he's rolling, and it's analytics. I don't know that this was analytics. I think that this was just a decision made early in the year, keeping guys on pitch counts because of the shorter spring training. Right.
But I don't like the throwing an arbitrary number at 80 out and say, nope, that's the one where he comes out at, because they always talk about high stress pitches, low stress pitches. How many of those 80 were high stress? How many were low stress? Probably more than enough were low enough stress that you could have stretched him. And let's say, okay, he goes into the 8th and he has a couple of hard hit line outs, or he walks somebody. If he walks somebody, then let's go.
Yeah.
But I probably would have said, this is cool, I'm going to let him go. If he gets to 100, then maybe we look at it. But 80, I'm probably not going there.
Chris, tell us. What's your thoughts?
You really want to know?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you. Nobody, especially Jason, doesn't like my takes. That's why he's wearing a stupid Laker hat. I'm going to tell you, it's kind of the same thing. Me and Jason are going to agree, okay? Seriously, we were talking about a different generation. If Kershaw is believing or going with that, saying it was time, it shows you what kind of gamer he ain't, all right? And no wonder that he's one of those guys who can pitch well until it's a big game. He's only going to probably ever win one, because he doesn't have that kind of mentality. I don't care. Maybe he's a great guy, and he probably is. But if I'm on the biggest stage and I'm going to do something that's only been done 23 other times, and I'm going to have a chance, give me the damn ball, okay? Give me the damn ball.
Drag me off the gosh dang field.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to get an argument.
No, I know. I'm going to take my right hand, and I'm going to punch him in the face because Crash Davis says,
Don't hit him with your pitching.
there you go, don't have a pitching hand.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen. You're not taking me out of the game. I'm pitching a perfect game, 80 pitches.
That's
80
the kicker.
pitches through 7. Oh, that's it. That's it. I got to get, what, 6 more outs? 6 more. I got 6 more outs. There's no freaking way. There's no way I'm letting that happen. It just tells you the decline of the gamer mentality, really. That's what you're not a gamer. You're not. There's no way whatsoever you're a gamer. It's pathetic.
Now, would you
It's
say the same
pathetic.
thing with Snell last year?
Well, Snell wanted to stay in.
Right.
Snell wanted to stay in.
Right.
That's not on him.
Right.
I'd have had a throwdown.
Right.
I don't give a damn about your little calculator.
We
Go
don't-
back over there. Go back over there with your analytics.
Yeah.
Go sit. I've got this.
Yeah.
Treat the manager like Nolan Ryan treated Robin Ventura.
Damn right.
Well, and here's the other thing. If I'm Kershaw, and this is also if I'm the Dodgers, we've already won. So he already has a ring. He's already got his big old contract. So he has literally nothing else to prove. He's considered one of the best pitchers right now.
Well, they're saying people are saying he's a future Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And he probably is because of this generation of baseball. You mean to tell me a guy who's going to be in the Hall of Fame? I mean, come on, man. Mike Mussina, who had 2 perfect games, get broken up in the 9th inning twice.
Ugh.
Okay? I mean, he was a bulldog. He wanted the ball.
I know.
Well, that's also a little bit what makes me think he was just trying to be a locker room guy and not call out his manager.
Maybe.
I don't care. You're not taking me out of the game. Hey, Dave, that was great. See ya. I got it. You know what? If I blow out my arm,
That's what I'm
it's
saying.
my
He's set,
freaking life.
That's what I'm saying. He's set for life. He's got his ring. He's got his money. Why not just, like you said, no, I'm out here.
He blows out his arm. Dave Roberts loses his job because he
No.
cost the Dodgers that.
No,
much
because
money.
then Kershaw, that's when you say, hey, it was my call.
Exactly.
Anybody want to be mad at me?
Exactly.
And what? Oh, everybody's gonna hate it. No, there you are.
No, but I think you're right, Chris. I don't think Kershaw
Hey, I want
has.
to make sure I record.
Yeah, you heard that.
Copy that.
Commercial.
We are going to agree
Commercial.
on this. I mean, I just don't think Kershaw has any of these.
Wait,
Any-
Huevos?
Huevos?
Marbles?
Marbles.
Marbles.
Hey, I don't think we should do that on
He
here.
chokes all the time.
Marbles.
It's stereotype.
I know.
No, it's
I know.
marbles.
I'm just
Movie
I-
quote.
I
It's a
don't
movie
know.
quote.
Yeah, we're quoting a movie.
Yeah, it's
Quoting a movie.
I don't know, but you're going to see this. So if and when Flaherty comes back, you're going to see the same thing. You're going to see. You saw it with Hudson. You're going to see it with everybody.
Ain't got enough guys.
I know.
Flaherty has to make it through 6 before we start going anywhere.
I'm just saying. Pitch count. We're just going to say 70.
Yep.
I mean, they talked about Hicks, 40 pitches.
If Flaherty's leaving at the end of this contract, I'd let him throw till his arm falls off.
Darn right.
I would
'Cause
trade,
he ain't,
I would
Darn
trade him.
right.
he ain't coming back.
No.
No, I would.
You want money?
He wants,
you better.
he wants
you better do
Kershaw's
it.
spot in L.A. That's
Yeah.
what he
Hey,
wants.
I would trade him for someone who's got a couple of guys who are gamers and want to be here in St. Louis.
Yeah. You can do the last year arbitration or last year of
Yeah.
his.
There's-
Well, what has he done for us?
A half of a year, the second half of 1
I
year.
mean, and that's what's. You look at. He's getting Reyes, Martinez.
The one thing
I mean-
the one thing Flaherty has that you can still trade is he still does have high-end potential
Yeah.
that teams look for, even though it hasn't gone through. So you can still trade based on that high-end potential. I think Reyes is past that because I think he's been too injury-prone to do it. But Flaherty still has.
But
that.
you got quality in him as a reliever. He is a former All-Star.
Yeah.
Hey,
Reyes.
we'll do like he was ripping on the Lakers. We'll just start calling them street clothes.
Flaherty or Reyes?
It
or
wasn't
Both.
Yeah.
It wasn't my quote.
I don't care. You ripped on my Lakers, man. Not happy with you. And people care.
I think
and you cared so much you talked for like 15 minutes.
Hey, I think there's a ladder in the back that you can use
I'm just saying.
to get over it.
I think you're upset because people care.
Well, how about we do this? I mean, it's about that time for a commercial break.
Oh,
Let's
is
take a commercial break. When we come back, you two can
Take
hack
commercial
it out.
break.
You guys can hash it out.
I mean, there's not much to hash out. I mean, LeBron screwed this whole thing up.
Well, that's yeah.
You can never ever mention LeBron and GOAT ever again. No, he is not the GOAT.
Never was.
Doesn't it?
Never
No, I don't
was,
think he
no.
ever was.
Never was.
To watch him walk back on defense.
Talk about not being a gamer.
Talk about a gamer. Tarasenko has been tearing it up lately.
Yes, would they end up being
Yeah,
6-2 win?
we'll have to talk about hockey when Zach's not here. You're watching the Coach's Box. We'll be right back. Whether it's residential or commercial, Home by SMCI has the right products for you. Global Plasma Solutions will attack your bacteria, mold, viruses, and even help with dust in your house. They install easily in less than 45 minutes, and it's invaluable for the rest of your life. If you're interested in any of the products they offer, give Home by SMCI a call today at 636-337-4444 or email them at service@homebysmci.com.
Wiley Agencies has 2 locations in Festus and Hillsborough to serve you. We offer home, auto, boat, motorcycle, business, life insurance, investments, and much more. We offer a customized approach unique to your situation to make sure you, your family, and assets are properly protected. We also offer great rates and savings. Give us a call today at 636-764-6294 for the Festus office or 636-333-9903 for the Hillsborough office to do an insurance review or just talk sports. If you don't have time to call, feel free to email Sean at SeanWiley@allstate.com.
Are you worried about planning for your financial future? Turn to the expert with 29 years of experience and give Brian Waits a call today. Brian Waits at Waits Financial Services specializes in investments, life insurance, retirement plans, tax planning, and even 401k rollovers. For more information, or if you just want to get a quote, call Brian at 314-374-6713 or email him at bwaits@woodburyfinancial.net. No time to eat in? No problem. Don't feel like cooking? We'll do it for you. Need wings for your party? TJ's Bar and Grill has got you covered. TJ's is a local mom and pop establishment in Peevely, Missouri, known for their own homemade pizza sauce, barbecue sauce, and their famous TJ's wing sauce. Open 7 days a week, they are family friendly, biker friendly, and locally owned. Come by or order by phone with your credit card at 636-475-3648. TJ's Bar and Grill. We're glad you stopped by. Roses are red, violets are blue. Whether you're buying or selling a home, let Kelly Kaufman move you. Kelly Kaufman of Real Living Gateway Real Estate brings a fresh approach with an honest, innovative, aggressive, and junk-free fee experience for all her customers. Whether you're a first-time buyer or experienced seller, Kelly Kaufman has the tools to deliver the best client experience in the industry. Give Kelly a call today at 314-221-6090 and let her move you today. Are you looking to buy or sell a home? If so, contact Stacy Miller at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. Stacy works with first-time home buyers and even savvy sellers. She also specializes in working with investors, lenders, and title companies. Stacy will be there every step of the way. Contact her today at 314-606-1007 or visit stacyzmiller.com. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Coach's Box. In case you didn't know, we are live on, well, not live, we will be at some point maybe, but you can listen to the Coach's Box if you don't like to watch and look at our ugly faces. You can always pull us up on Apple Podcasts now. We have a channel. We have, some content already loaded. We are in the process of loading more content, and as we continue to do that, we're hoping that we can, reach a larger audience of people and get more stuff out there, so you guys had the opportunity to listen. And always, feel free to comment. We appreciate your feedback anytime, whether it's here in our comment section on Facebook or whatever. But not only can you listen to the show, we are hoping that if you do like it and have a Gmail account or still have a Hotmail account, you can subscribe for free and watch our show on YouTube.
You can use AOL, Yahoo,
I still got
AIM.
SBC.
Anybody with an AIM account still, you can use those as
Netscape?
well.
Is that?
Netscape.
It's not a,
Yes.
No,
no,
not
no.
one?
They got rid of that.
Okay.
Yeah, Grandpa. So
MySpace.
even if what we are asking is, even if you are a Facebook follower and you are a strictly I only watch this on Facebook, please go ahead and go to YouTube and subscribe. It just helps us with our numbers. We're trying to do some more things again to reach more people. We do appreciate you guys' support. You've been great about everything, even to this point, because we've done this 103 times now. So apparently
103.
Apparently something is working. I'm not sure what it is. It's definitely not me doing this board right. But please go to YouTube, subscribe.
I tell you who else it isn't. Him and the other one not doing commercials all the time.
No, the camera still isn't on you.
All right, producer.
Because I'm in the middle of doing something.
Okay, well.
So
You unmuted us.
Yeah.
no, you're right. I did there. So please go to YouTube and subscribe. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. We're gonna kick it back here to Zac. Finally.
Hey.
Yeah, Zac. So go ahead and let's get into the next part of our show.
Well, before we talk about some more national news, Coach Rhodes gave us a message here, and we figured we kind of say this as well. For anybody in the Jefferson County area that's been around for forever, this name's you're gonna recognize this name, and I'm just gonna read
Trying
what
to
it
say
says
Ron
here.
Rhodes has been around a while.
He has, yes.
A little
Ron
bit?
has, yes.
Like
But anybody,
decades?
Yes, decades. But I'm just going to read this, what he posted here. And Ron had said, I would like to inform the listeners of tonight's show that some horrible news that took place this week. Tuesday, Kim Mann, the greatest female basketball player to play in Jefferson County, passed away. And if you ever got to see her play, count your blessings. She battled MS for 25 years, and she was the it player for DeSoto when they won their state titles. And I think where'd she go? Oklahoma State after that. I
don't remember exactly.
Yeah, Coach Rhodes can post on that. But
We'll say back in '89, I was in like 7th grade, 6th grade, something.
Yeah, 88, 89. So we're sorry to hear that. I mean, it was a player, it was a big name in our area. All right.
So thoughts and prayers out to their family and anyone who's friends with them.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll move right on to our next topic.
Well,
Go ahead.
let's talk about the NBA. I mean,
Let's talk about the NBA.
How about these playing games?
Dumb.
you get
It's
a
good
playing
games.
game. You get a playoff game.
So does
You have
everybody
a
make the
losing-
playoffs now?
Yeah, like
Does everybody make the playoffs?
Four
now?
teams.
Kinda like
Four
hockey,
teams
I guess.
don't.
I don't know.
4 teams don't.
I don't know.
I
don't
stopped
know.
watching.
I tell you what
I
team
stopped
didn't.
watching the NBA in the late '90s. So
Yeah. So
There's a team that didn't.
so for
The
anybody
Lakers did not.
so for anybody who didn't, watch my little snippet that
It's
hopefully we
15
can do.
minutes a snippet.
Yeah,
Look, it was the first time doing it.
it was the first time.
Okay.
It took me. I mean, like I was
Hey,
trying to feed my.
Think about all
baby
the
and
first
trying
time things you've done. I'm sure they weren't great. And I'm sure we could ask a lot of people, like as you were falling off the bicycle for the first time.
It's not great.
and all the other first-time things you've ever done.
Yep.
We can find out, and I'm sure they weren't
Flying
great.
colors. I just hopped on that bike and bam!
So, just so there's going to be some things I got to get better at. But
Like the board.
you want to do it?
Nope.
I didn't think so.
Blair said, well, I didn't have those.
Hey,
Did you
listen.
see that comment?
Yeah, don't worry. I set it up on easy mode. He might as well have been playing where it's a fastball on MLB The Show every single
Well,
time.
I mean, he can do it next week.
Push the button.
I mean,
push the
he's going to,
Yeah.
Well,
So-
if he's here.
Oh, yeah.
He does
Back in
miss a
Kansas
lot,
City.
doesn't he?
Yeah. So, I talked about, okay, when you're listening to 101 ESPN or you're watching Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max in the morning,
Or any
which is
other
a national
ESPN.
syndicated
Pardon the
show.
interruption, Stephen A. Smith.
All those.
Yes.
What are they're constantly talking about the Lakers.
Right.
Okay.
They're constantly talking about LeBron.
Lake Show.
Why
Okay.
though?
Why?
Well, because that's what the NBA is pushing him as the.
Yeah, how'd that work out this year, Jason? You're a big Lakers
Oh,
fan.
it's terrible.
What seed they get
Let's
in the playoffs?
think about this.
Wait. What seed they get in the playoffs? Do they have home court advantage?
No, they're not in the playoffs.
They need to make the
No.
play-in tournament, which is like you suck, but we're still going to let you play just because.
That was their way of trying to get the Lakers into the playoffs, and they couldn't even do that.
Hold on, it's just no different than the Cardinals making the wild card, the second
No,
wild card.
No,
because-
wait a minute. What?
Yeah. Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
How many baseball teams? There's what, 32?
31.
31 baseball teams?
Yeah.
And what,
How many make the
12
playoffs?
make it?
I'm just saying.
Maybe
it's the
14
same
this
thing.
coming year?
There's like 12 on
There's-
each side
There's
of
30,
each conference.
there's
that make
30 in
it.
the NBA,
All
and
I'm
like
saying is
24
it's no
make the
different. They're
playoffs.
adding playoff teams because they want to make more money.
And
It's
then,
no
yes,
different. The Cardinals can't. You said it. The Cardinals can't beat the Brewers.
They were talking about it today on 101, and they were talking about what if they did that in hockey, and the Blues side. It would be really interesting because of the teams that would have to play each other before. But in basketball, I think it has made some exciting games. My son he watches all the NBA. I don't watch much NBA, but the Lakers have always been. I mean, since Magic, James Worthy, Sam Perkins, I can go through all the people. Rambus. I mean, all those people.
They were players before you were born.
I watched them.
And
So the
I've been a
VHS
Laker fan.
tapes.
I have relatives that live in LA. We've never, I was never alive here in St. Louis when they had a team. Believe it or
I'm
not.
not saying you were.
So, I said believe it or not. So, yeah, I mean, I became a Laker fan. Always have been.
Well,
Magic was my favorite to watch.
for anybody who doesn't know, the Lakers didn't make the extra
No,
tournament
I hate
playoff.
LeBron. I hate that we got LeBron, and then I hated that they let him bring in Westbrook.
Wait, name a place again besides Miami, because Pat Riley did what he wanted to do. But LeBron James is the general manager of
the
all
Lakers,
the teams
yeah.
that he's ever played for. He is also the coach, again, outside of Miami. And how many coaches has he ran off? How many
This is Cleveland. He didn't run off Spoelstra.
He's supposed to still down
Yeah.
there.
Miami.
He left before.
Miami.
Other than
Outside of Miami. Miami is a different.
Right.
That's the only place.
Pat Riley had control of that.
Pat
team.
Riley had control. Pat Riley said Eric Spoelstra.
Doesn't matter though.
I
Look
think
what he did with
Spoelstra's
Cleveland.
pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, a lot of people didn't think
But
so.
look,
Anyway.
hold on, time out. Look what he did for Cleveland all those years, and look who was attached to him.
What did he do for Cleveland?
Well, he won a championship for Cleveland.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Who hit the shot? Kyrie.
Oh my gosh,
Did he play for Duke?
he did. Let's go, Duke. Let's go, Duke. But he got hurt too.
Dude,
He hurt-
Kyrie's one weird dude, man.
Oh, no,
Weird.
hey, I gotta give the guy who fasts for Ramadan and goes out there and plays.
That's like Hakeem Olajuwon. When,
Yeah. Anybody does that.
Yeah, but back then, everybody wasn't so soft, so it wasn't such a big deal.
That's true.
Now, it's like,
So-
oh my God, this guy's really
80
doing
pitches.
something
You can't sit
hard.
here,
Go ahead.
can't sit here and say that when LeBron came in to Cleveland, and what pick was he?
One.
Exactly, because Cleveland was trash. And
Yeah.
then hold on, what did Cleveland do when he was there?
Okay.
They went from being trash to how many NBA finals?
Here's what I say. LeBron was on a different trajectory earlier. He was on the trajectory to probably be one of the greatest of all time.
Right.
I don't know what it is, got a little bit into his own head, a little bit into his ego
he's full
started
of
to
himself.
grow.
It's awful.
You got to think he was
And he grew into his ego
right.
and took control where he was given control. And it hasn't worked out in any way, shape, and form. Anywhere he's been.
There's only been one coach who's ever held him accountable. One. It was Coach K when he played for the Olympics. That's it. Think about it.
Right.
Think about any other basketball player in the history of basketball that throws a bad pass and then stands there and looks at somebody while the other team's going down the court.
It drove me nuts.
And doesn't get an instant buzz play. Doesn't come out of the game. I don't care how much freaking money you make. I don't care if you're the greatest of all time or the second leading scorer in NBA history. That for a guy who's all about being one of the faces of the league or one of the Mount Rushmore basketball players.
He's really pissed all over his own legacy.
Well, I'm really surprised at this point LeBron James doesn't refer to himself in the third person or have his own trinity that he's created. You have LeBron, the Son, and the Holy LeBron or something with him too.
Say this, and it's Easter.
I don't care. I think that's
so you want to slide over.
So
here?
you want to be like
that's the kind of guy
Quan,
he is.
The Quan and Jerry Maguire. One of my favorite movies, by the way.
But think about how ridiculous he is, and watch just again when he was with Cleveland, especially early when he had nobody, and he was shouldering the Cavaliers.
Right.
Okay, and then he wants guys to play with. He goes to Miami. He's playing with two other good players, but he's got other guys around him, and they can play, and he's utilizing them, and he's playing like one of the greats.
Right.
You watch him play; he does not play like one of the greats anymore.
No, he's playing for stats.
Nobody
He's got
wants
his
to play with him
champion.
anymore.
Yeah, he's playing for stats. He's playing for himself.
Yeah.
He's trying to get number one.
All-time scorer. Well, hell,
right.
I mean, you stay in there long enough. He
can do whatever he wants.
Why?
I'm still going to look at LeBron
tickets.
James and go, Jordan.
Sure.
Sorry.
Well,
and then I'm
gonna say
taking
Jordan, Magic, Wilt.
Well, I'm taking Kobe before I take him.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Yes.
and the more stuff. I know
Kobe had his downfalls too.
I know, and Kobe did some stupid crap and blah blah. But the more and more since his death that I have been reading and seeing, his work ethic was phenomenal. It was zero. I mean,
right.
to none. Mm-hmm. Like Dwayne Wade goes on this whole spiel about, I'm going to be early. I'm going to beat everyone to when they were practicing for whatever. I guess it was the Olympics or whatever. And he gets there and he goes, I get there and Kobe's already drenched in sweat, and it's 5 or 6 in the morning. He's like, and then he does another workout, and then another workout. And if you ever listen, I mean, I don't see that with LeBron. I see all this BS, and then now
Well, it's a
I want to
brand.
play with Bronny, and I
It's a
can't wait to play
brand.
with Bronny.
There we go.
Well,
I'm like,
You said it. He's pissed all over his own legacy
Yeah.
and some things, but there are still a large number of people that follow the NBA that will still consider him the best of all time.
they're idiots.
Because I'm not saying they're not, but that's who the NBA's target market is, and that's why LeBron is still as big a star within the NBA, because they want those people
I mean, how could
in
you
their target market.
I mean, there's so many other guys.
Why do you
in the
think
NBA right now.
I'm going to say this? Why do you think at times basketball's gotten as bad at what it is, the skill sets wise of kids? Because they see the bad pass stuff, and you guys seen it with your team. Somebody makes a pass.
I see a lot of bad passes.
They think it's a bad pass, or it's a bad pass. They don't think it's a bad pass. They think somebody made the wrong move, so it was a good pass
somebody
until
didn't
they went
catch
the
it.
wrong direction.
I mean, but look, LeBron right now, there was a point where it changed, and I always kind of just sit back and not watch it.
After they won in LA.
I think it was before that. I think it was.
He had buy-in with AD, and he had. I think because once he won in LA, it's like he has nothing left to prove in terms of winning. So whether you he understands that if I get the same number of championships as Michael, they're already saying I'm never as good because he went 6-0 and I had to have so many. My record is this in the finals. So he probably flipped the switch and said, you know what? I've got all my championships. Now I'm going to go get all the stats. I'm going to worry about my brand. I want to make money. I want to be, whatever.
How much money you
athlete,
need to make?
as much as humanly possible. He wants to be on that billionaire list.
So let's go back to my original point. So we all know that LeBron is straight garbage right now, just as how he is as a basketball player. If any of us had to coach a kid who played like LeBron right now, he probably wouldn't make it. I don't care. You're a great talent. Come sit your ass on the bench.
No, he'd have to play because the parents would be calling.
No, I don't care. Just take my job. I don't care.
I don't know. Did you see us play this year? I sent some people.
So my whole point was, and again, yes, I'm talking about LeBron and the Lakers, but
We've spent about 15 minutes now on
They
it. Go ahead.
They constantly talk about the team that's not making the playoffs. They're terrible.
It's just the market.
So who is? I'm going to say this because I haven't really heard it said. Who is the best team in the NBA right now?
Suns.
The Suns are pretty gosh dang good.
Suns. I've heard, and from what I've gathered, because I don't know enough about it, the Grizzlies.
Yep.
Well,
Second best in
they're,
the West.
They're fun
Second-
to watch.
Okay.
Celtics? I don't know.
I don't. And does the East
I
even
mean,
matter yet?
I'm a Laker
No.
fan,
No.
and it's hard, but I will root for the Celtics just because of Tatum. And I'm
Yeah.
a Laker fan. That's hard to say. So, but Tatum, I like the way Tatum plays, and I like the way he plays defense too. And Tatum's an up and coming in the league. But the Suns they're pretty dang good.
But why aren't we talking about those teams more?
It's
Why
market.
are
Why are we
'Cause
talking
it's the
about is
market.
it Booker, Devin Booker?
Oh, yeah.
He's
okay.
pretty good.
So,
I've seen.
So we have this happen in sports where you guys had even said it, I think, in
It's
our group
LA.
message. It's the East Coast, West Coast.
It's LA. We're still talking about
pandering
New
to-
York, and New York hasn't done nothing. The Knicks have not done anything since what?
No,
Patrick
wait.
Ewing?
70s.
They're not even really talking about the
They haven't won
Knicks.
since Bill Bradley.
But I mean,
The Nets get talked about more than the
The
Knicks do.
Nets get talked about.
Yeah.
That's because of who's on the team.
But yeah,
You
but
got to think everything. It's all
Wait,
marketing.
Does anybody remember who won the NBA championship last year?
Not the Suns.
Anybody? Milwaukee.
Yeah, it was
Where are
Milwaukee.
they at? Where are they located?
well, they're located.
Oh,
in
the
Milwaukee.
Midwest.
It's a problem.
Wait, yeah,
Milwaukee.
ask Blair. Where are they at? Yeah, go through Canada.
Milwaukee.
But
Milwaukee.
But I mean, it's just like I've said it for years with the Cardinals.
Yeah.
What press do the Cardinals get nationally? We don't get jack crap.
Good
almost
save.
Yeah.
brought it
Kick
back.
save.
Hey, family show.
So, but okay. So you got Milwaukee who won it, Toronto's won it, and we're still talking about the dumpster fire Lakers, the Nets who are a mess, the Knicks who are still irrelevant since 1994 when they made the finals, or the strike short in '99 season. Throw that out there. That's it. Why are we talking about them? Why are we even? It's almost as bad as talking about the fact that Seattle doesn't have a team anymore. It doesn't make any sense.
Because Silver is on LeBron's payroll.
Well, the NBA has
Two
wrapped
things.
the NBA has wrapped
Okay.
their marketing around players, and players are wanting to go to the big market teams, but there are good teams
Yeah.
that aren't on the East and West Coast. They're in the middle of the country.
But I'm also going to tell you this. Okay, one, money. Okay, everything comes back to money.
Does
and then
it?
Two, yes.
So
and
how
then
about the
two, hopefully we don't get blocked here.
Uh-oh.
China,
Now,
because there's billions of people that are watching the NBA in China.
Don't hack our show.
Okay, and
Well, there's
do you
a
think they
message
know?
on there. Did you
I
see it?
already tried
Do you-
to address it.
Do you think they know
What?
where Milwaukee is? No, they could say New York, and they can.
Well, they probably,
LA.
yeah, I'm sure they've probably been playing Risk
Well, they know.
And
They know New
plotting
York. They know
for
LA.
future.
I mean, there's Florida
conquests.
Miami's
I know
starting to
where
pick
it's
up some traction, but it's always been LA and the East Coast. I mean,
But
look at the Rams.
You brought that up. Don't even.
I know.
Don't
It
even.
soured me. It just made me.
He could save the curse word, but he couldn't stop himself from saying
I
that.
know.
Here's what I want to talk. So I think we've given LeBron and the Lakers enough.
Hey!
But talking about what? Yeah, no, they're irrelevant. But what is relevant, I want to talk about the NBA and these players getting fined because they have potty mouths. And
Is that what they got fined for?
Yeah.
Was potty mouth?
Yeah. So you had
Patrick Beverly.
Yeah, you had
Oh,
two
Beverly
different
acted like
people.
like he won the
Beverly
Gosh
got-
Dang championship. The
Beverly
other night.
got fined $30,000.
55, wasn't it?
No. I'm reading right here off ESPN. And then Bridges got fined $50 for throwing a mouthpiece. And try to hit a guy and then hit a girl, looked like teenage, I don't know, young.
Have you seen some? There's been a lot of fan/player interaction,
Right.
like this year in
Right.
the NBA.
Yeah.
Like it showed
Seats
somebody the
get-
other night.
Seats are getting
Closer.
closer and closer.
Yeah, someone the other
Some of those
night.
guys, some people in the front row, they sit in their seat, they can put their feet on the playing field.
Yeah, somebody on the front row, like I think it might have been LeBron or somebody told him, "Shut up, you little bitch." Blah blah blah. Right there on the court.
What, dribbling down the floor?
Yes.
Well, Booker had one too, but to me, here's the thing. Here, fine them, fine these guys, fine these players, because you know what? If we all had an opportunity to, we probably, if we wanted to, take our kids to go watch these guys play. You are representing an organization. You're an adult, but your market is also to a demographic that is young to old. And it's not a movie. It's not adult entertainment. It's entertainment. It's sports and entertainment. That means kids are there. Watch your mouth. Be professional. And don't act that way.
Oh,
And-
well,
and-
let's not have all the mics right on the. That's
Well,
the
that
other
too.
thing. I mean, we don't.
They don't need, that really adds nothing to the entertainment value of the sport to have that stuff.
It gets the fan at home ingrained in the experience,
Well,
just like the camera angles in football where they zoom in and
They,
all of
they
that.
didn't have those back in the 80s and 90s.
They
when
did
I've-
XFL. That's where they got it
No, you're saying about the on-court mics and all that. So
In the NBA.
No,
Yeah.
the technology wasn't as good.
No, but
But
otherwise you'd have heard what Michael Jordan and Gary Payton were saying.
from. Sure.
Or Larry Bird.
Or Larry
dude.
Bird.
Larry Bird was one of the worst.
And I'm sure that there's a bunch of other guys that were even worse. Most of them played for
Kevin
Detroit.
Garnett.
But the thing is, I mean, if you don't want that to address the profanity, I mean, that's part of the game.
No.
That is part of the game.
No.
That is part of the
It's
game.
That does not make
it's part
you
of the
a
game
better
because it's
player.
been allowed
That
to
is
be
not-
part of the
Ask
game.
any kid in your class that has headphones in it
Sure.
and listen to their headphone for a second.
Oh, I don't disagree with you.
So the mental aspect of the game of basketball is I want to say or do things that is going to get into your head. I'm gonna, and nobody probably believes this. So growing up in church and leading song service in church and being a kid who was just pretty straight laced. When I was playing basketball, I was a totally different human being. Okay, totally different human being.
I was when I played football.
And I would be just fine with everybody. And as I'm walking around shaking hands with somebody that I know from another school, and they're like, "Hey, good luck, Miller." I'm just like, "Hey." I mean, it was on. I didn't give a rat's butt about it. I didn't care. I would say anything I had to say, so you would get pissed off and want to fight me. I've had a couple of guys throw punches at me, swing elbows hard. I get people on retaliation because of things I would say or do. Because I'm 5'10" on a good day, didn't jump very high. I've got to bring you to my level to play. And if
That's
it
why
was,
he's always yelling at the refs.
and if I could get in your head, I was going to do it. So, do you think Gary Payton, who was a phenomenal defensive player, if he just didn't say a word, do you think that takes away from what Gary Payton could do as a defender?
All I'm saying is the product that you are in is a family product.
Don't buy courtside tickets.
No, hold yourself and your profession to a higher standard because I'm paying money.
I don't think you go out and just drop F-bombs to where everybody in the entire stadium can hear. But I'm telling you right now, the conversation that goes on the court,
Sure,
Well,
doesn't make it right.
Okay, I think that
Hey,
I think
cussing
those same
doesn't make you a man.
those
No.
same conversations happen between linemen and football.
Sure.
And yes, they have the sideline mics and the field mics in football, but what do you hear? You hear Peyton yelling Omaha,
Right.
and you hear those types of things like that. But those mics don't pick up those personal conversations like in basketball, where you can have two people standing next to you because everything is so close.
well, they are
they're
picking up more than they need to
They're
for
pick-
television.
and absolutely.
There we
go.
And so I that adds to it. I think you can have
away.
it. Just back
Sure.
it up a little bit bigger,
But
more
if
widespread.
you're not, because you want to enhance the experience for the paying customers, either that's there
Better
or
put a disclaimer
that
on it.
No,
Why?
because once again, you are creating a product that a demographic is from 0 to 150.
Jason, didn't you
There's
just
no NBA after hours.
didn't you just say about the kids and what they listen to?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're trying to say two wrongs make a right. No.
Hey, one moment I could be singing Amazing Grace, and then I put my headphones in, and I'm listening to the Marshall Mathers LP. Now what?
That's you as
Okay,
an
but
individual.
but
I
it's
would
also
say
not public
it's not
at that
your
point because
business.
It's in the,
There we go.
But it's not your profession.
But
I don't hear you bumping the Marshall Mathers LP in your office at work.
I just keep it turned down because I got Disney Plus on.
Okay, well, there. What I'm saying is, you don't. If you have a student in your office and you're doing your job, you're not bumping it. Why? Because it's not professional. And what I'm saying is that is your profession. What you do from 0 hour until you go to your job and clock in.
So what
I'm just
about
saying-
what those coaches like? I mean, one of my most favorite coaches of all time in college. Every other word was the F word.
But
to
you
me.
said college
But I'm saying, like,
to you.
but they're not going. I'm just. It's not the players at this point because it's the mics and everything being part of it on the floor. There's no reason to have 37 mics around the floor that can catch everything.
Yeah, did you like even the national
Put one at
championship
each
game?
end, and you don't hear all of
Did
that,
you
but
see
you still get some
all
of that.
of those microphones
Yeah.
that they have up there, and they're all
They're like little floor mics just
Yeah.
kind of around. And
Why?
You don't need all of that. They do that for TV, and you put one at each corner. You don't hear half those things that what they've got
Right.
fined for.
And what do? Nothing is live anymore because you can go back to the wardrobe malfunction in the Super
Yeah.
Bowl and you can do it.
It's 5 second
Okay, and you got to
delay.
have a dump button and you got. Hey, they've created that monster. Okay, television has created that monster. But what I'm also going to say is, you, as a professional, and that is part of your job, and if that is in your contract, then you know what? Don't do it. Just like the Olympian that got busted for pot.
here's the other thing. Though.
Don't do it. You don't need
that
to do it.
$55,000 was like the penny I dropped outside.
Maybe.
I mean, to them guys.
It's gonna go to a charity.
Yeah, I mean,
Kids who have been
Can't read good? No, I don't.
kids who've been triggered by cuss words. Zach's running the whole charity.
Hey, but
Sorry.
like I said, it's
Our next house charity.
Swear jar.
yeah. I swear. We
I
had
mean,
that.
I mean, I've
Zach's
seen.
kids.
I've been on a couple coaching staffs that had a swear jar. Yep.
I mean,
You
look,
can't
it's
defend it. You can't sit here and you can't defend it. You can't defend it.
It shouldn't.
It's indefensible.
What's indefensible?
The whole idea of cussing. The whole idea. Whether it's you, whether
If
it's
we're-
me,
all-
whether it's pros, whether it's not.
If I'm in the middle of you at the middle of the basketball floor, there's 25,000 people in the building. They're all screaming. You can't hear anything. If I'm in the middle of the floor during a free throw, you say something to me, I look to you and goes, "Shut the F up." And a mic picks it up because there's a mic 8 feet from me. No matter where you go on those floors, there's nothing. There's nothing
Right.
malicious about that. I'm not telling you to go
I know.
half the stuff
But
Jarvis says in some of these
don't
shows.
act
But
surprised when you get fined $50,000. You know
so
This guy.
what?
I'm sorry,
you can't
but
defend it. You
Go
can't sit
kick
here-
someone's butt. It's just not, man. All right, man. Let's go out and kick their butt. No, kick their ass. I gotta say ass. I'm not gonna say butt.
I think we've already reached our profanity limit for
you
this
said
show.
nothing's live without a dump anymore. This show is.
But what I'm saying
We're
is,
not going to be live very much longer.
they're all professionals. And
But
you're- and
you
you're-
have children that are there in. That's what I'm saying.
Don't
It's-
get seats that are close.
oh my
But
gosh, that's not. You
to
don't get to dictate as a player. You are the employee.
Wait a minute.
You have signed a
LeBron
contract.
gets to dictate.
No. And what I'm saying is,
As,
don't
you mean
be
it-
surprised when you get fined.
You-
And it shouldn't
I
be
will
a part
say
of
this:
it.
I said, people, how many profanity fines have there been in the NBA this year? Probably what, a handful?
I've never.
maybe?
This is the first time I've heard of.
So
Really?
at,
I don't pay
at-
much attention to that stuff.
there's
I care less what they're saying.
so why all of a sudden now? Why weren't they having these? If it's being professionals, and I'm not disagreeing
Yeah.
with you. There's no reason for some of those words sometimes, but
I agree with
Why-
you. There's no
why-
reason for the
but-
words, but what?
why now? Why all of a sudden is this becoming more of a bigger issue when it's been a part of this game since back when Larry Bird
I mean, like
was doing this stuff as well, most likely.
when I was 16 and I knew cussing at school would get me in trouble. I didn't cuss at school, but when I was at Crystal Park playing basketball, I was flying a bunch of words.
But you just said it. I knew when I was in this box that I could not do it. Like I said, you are in this box as an employee. And if that
what I'm
is-
saying about their box, though,
Right.
it's not their responsibility for you to
It
tell.
is,
to
because-
tell. No, it's not.
Yes,
it's
it
not.
is.
It is not LeBron's responsibility for you to tell your son it's not good to use that language. That's your job.
No, that's the whole point of you work.
It's not his
in-
job.
So you 100% feel it's fine when you go to class on Monday or Tuesday that you can go ahead and drop a whole bunch of F-bombs in your class.
I'm not gonna drop a bunch of
No,
F-bombs
but you
because I
say it's
can.
okay.
I said at an NBA and
This is
a
interesting.
classroom is two totally different things.
Why? Talking the same demographic.
Because I'm giving someone an education. You're going to an entertain as you want to be entertained.
Here, you know how you solve this? Make the NBA R-rated going in. So when
what
you
I said,
go in,
there's
you
a
know
disclaimer.
that. You go in there with that disclaimer. Hey, this is
Then
now
don't
this is
fine them.
R-rated.
Then don't fine them.
Oh, it would-
All I'm saying is you have a rule in place. Don't be surprised when you get fined.
I think some of the
Did someone say they were surprised?
I would
That's what
agree.
I guess
I
I'm
would
missing.
agree in that sense, but also in the sense that
Did they say
why
they
had
were
this not come
surprised?
up before?
Were they surprised?
It's a story on
I
ESPN.
guarantee
they
you.
obviously
Well, they
that's
all-
what I'm talking
Patrick
about.
Beverly goes, "What the f did I just get fined for?"
Did you see?
Type of- he cursed because he
no,
fined
you
that
brought Patrick Beverly up. You would have thought in the play-in game that he won the gosh dang. And Barkley and everybody was making fun of him. He
That's
was
because it
acting
was his
like
team.
a.
That's because that was a former team.
I know it was
Yeah.
his former team, but my lord, if I beat you guys and win conference, like say ours was the last game and I actually beat you, but I didn't. But if I'm saying if I did, I'm not gonna go over there and tear my shirt off and get in front of Chris. And be,
Look at these guns! Look at these guns!
Look what I did.
Him
I mean-
ripped the sleeves off his polo shirts.
Dude, he was crying like a baby. It was so.
What a great idea! I need to just do that. I just
Tear
need
away.
to.
It was so.
Tear away polo shirts.
I'm sitting downstairs watching it with my son. I'm like, dude, Patrick Beverly is nuts. He
Oh,
is
yes.
certifiably nuts.
He is certifiably nuts. But I think he also went on social media and was using profanity. So it's one thing.
Egregious.
It's one thing to.
I mean-
It's one thing to say it in a game, and I think he got fined though because
it
of
was
what
in
he
the press
put-
conference.
Yeah, but in the press
And the
conference
socials.
and social media.
Yeah.
There's,
I don't think it had a lot to do with.
There's
what he said on
probably
the
some
court.
sort of a. There's probably some sort of like a. It wasn't necessarily the cursing on the court. It's what the citizenship clause of a contract or.
Well,
God,
when
he
you're,
was
part of the league or
acting
something
like
like
an
that.
absolute moron.
well, because he's an absolute moron.
How about the other guy throwing the mouthpiece?
Well, Seth Curry throws his mouthpiece all the time. It's just, hey,
That's
when you're
worth
at
money, though.
when you're at the game, it's kind of like when when you're in a baseball game, pay attention. Foul ball might come and hit you. Somebody might throw a mouthpiece at you. Hey, girl, stop taking a selfie.
But
okay?
no. He was aiming at this guy
And hit someone else.
and then and I get it, it's
There's
a
a reason
mouthpiece,
he's in the NBA
but it
and
goes
not
back
Major
to
League Baseball.
what you say.
Could have
Why
COVID.
are you interacting with these people, with the fans? Why are you doing
I don't know.
it?
You just said it. It's a fan interaction.
I never said it was a fan.
It's like
Those words never came out of my
Well,
mouth.
I mean, after I went down the court 7 or 8 times, and this guy's called me a bitch 7 or 8 times, and I'm playing on the. You're in the stands, bro. You can't play out
Exactly.
here.
That's what I'm saying. I've got these $100 bills that I'm going to use as earmuffs because who cares? I'm making millions. So once again,
The
you
NBA
talk about
But I think
soft,
people
NBA
say way more worse than
I'm sure.
what I'm saying.
I also don't believe that there's no reason that if I'm sitting courtside when I put my soda down, half of it's on the floor because it's that close to the floor. Back them off just a little bit.
They should. And matter of fact, if you're sitting on the first row,
I think it's a
then-
liability
then-
issue for the NBA to be that close to the floor with the way
Wait,
some
What,
of
what,
those
so,
guys
so what they should
Imagine how
do,
much those seats are.
what they should do,
those
is-
people own insurance companies.
they basically should tell those people they live under. You go to those games, you have a different set of rules than everybody else
Probably.
because
I would be fine with-
you shouldn't be able to do some of the stuff that those people do.
I would be perfectly fine with that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
Oh.
you are buying.
You don't get to cuss.
Once again,
I'm paying my money. If I want to cuss,
You
I'm
tell
going to cuss.
Spike. You tell
because-
Spike Lee he can't
because
cuss because
it's
Everybody
in-
but Spike gets these rules.
Hey, because it would be in said clause or contract.
Of who?
The purchaser. You
Purchaser
said
of the
it.
ticket,
You brought
it's
it
on
up.
the ticket.
Sometimes, dude, he just needs to be muted.
No.
You guys are on the same
Yeah, I was
thing
gonna say,
right now.
you were
So,
both being muted.
so if I mute him, I mute you.
Okay, well,
Sorry.
this guy.
Anyway,
He's all upset
So-
about a little cursing.
I'm not upset. What I'm saying is, don't act surprised when you get fined.
Well, I think on that note, we need to take a quick break. I know Zach's like, I'm triggered right now.
No, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm not. Hey,
Fall
I'm not-
forward.
Hey. Go say an F-bomb.
What have I been
Mine.
saying F-bombs?
Gosh. You okay with
I'm
that?
just saying that it doesn't bother me if I go to the baseball game and one of the baseball players makes an error and they say F. It doesn't bother me.
Me personally, it doesn't bother me either because I'm an adult. But what I'm saying is,
It doesn't bother me if I have Weston with me.
Just all you gotta do is say earmuff zone, and then you can say whatever you want.
What I really want is if my kid's school ever calls me to tell me that they cussed, I'm going to be like, did they use it appropriately?
Did they use it as a verb?
Yes,
Was it
That's the old Birdie Mac.
Did they use it in
Comedy?
context? Was it
Yeah.
out of context? Because that would be
All
bad.
right, and on that, we'll be right back with some more Coach's Box, maybe, if we don't get kicked off the air, but we'll be right back. Whether it's residential or commercial, Home by SMCI has the right products for you. Global Plasma Solutions will attack your bacteria, mold, viruses, and even help with dust in your house. They install easily in less than 45 minutes, and it's invaluable for the rest of your life. If you're interested in any of the products they offer, give Home by SMCI a call today at 636-337-4444 or email them at service@homebysmci.com.
Wiley Agencies has 2 locations in Festus and Hillsborough to serve you. We offer home, auto, boat, motorcycle, business, life insurance, investments, and much more. We offer a customized approach unique to your situation to make sure you, your family, and assets are properly protected. We also offer great rates and savings. Give us a call today at 636-764-6294 for the Festus office or 636-333-9903 for the Hillsborough office to do an insurance review or just talk sports. If you don't have time to call, feel free to email Sean at SeanWiley@allstate.com.
Are you worried about planning for your financial future? Turn to the expert with 29 years of experience and give Brian Waits a call today. Brian Waits at Waits Financial Services specializes in investments, life insurance, retirement plans, tax planning, and even 401k rollovers. For more information, or if you just want to get a quote, call Brian at 314-374-6713 or email him at bwaits@woodburyfinancial.net. No time to eat in? No problem. Don't feel like cooking? We'll do it for you. Need wings for your party? TJ's Bar and Grill has got you covered. TJ's is a local mom and pop establishment in Peevely, Missouri, known for their own homemade pizza sauce, barbecue sauce, and their famous TJ's wing sauce. Open 7 days a week, they are family friendly, biker friendly, and locally owned. Come by or order by phone with your credit card at 636-475-3648. TJ's Bar and Grill. We're glad you stopped by. Roses are red, violets are blue. Whether you're buying or selling a home, let Kelly Kaufman move you. Kelly Kaufman of Real Living Gateway Real Estate brings a fresh approach with an honest, innovative, aggressive, and junk-free fee experience for all her customers. Whether you're a first-time buyer or experienced seller, Kelly Kaufman has the tools to deliver the best client experience in the industry. Give Kelly a call today at 314-221-6090 and let her move you today. Are you looking to buy or sell a home? If so, contact Stacy Miller at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. Stacy works with first-time home buyers and even savvy sellers. She also specializes in working with investors, lenders, and title companies. Stacy will be there every step of the way. Contact her today at 314-606-1007 or visit stacyzmiller.com.
All right, so we're back with our third segment of the Coach's Box. Before we get going, I'd like to let you guys know that we are now on Apple Podcasts, so you can search for the Coach's Box. You can follow our show. You can listen to it there. I was about ready to say you can watch it there. I don't really think that works, but you can download it. We would appreciate you guys following the show there, and we are actually on Spotify now. Tell you guys that we're on Spotify, and wait for it, Kevin, you'll like this. We are on Google Podcast.
Nice.
So for all of you people who cannot, use Apple stuff,
Man, we are just going everywhere.
And we're on Spotify and Google Podcasts. We don't have all of the stuff. We don't have a lot of content on there yet, but again, it's a slow, tedious process, and we are continuing to upload and put more things on there. So. Appreciate you guys listening there. We have had some actual listeners. We had somebody from Seattle I saw the other day was listening to it, so not really sure how, unless it's Eddie on a trucking venture, but I don't think so. I don't think he's been that far out.
One of the former...
I don't have you... Here, I'll mute you.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Back, yes.
Yeah, one of the former guys that used to do the radio moved to Seattle.
Will.
Yeah,
Will Greenwood.
No, Cheshire.
Matt Greenwood still here?
Yeah. So, listen to us on the podcast, and real quick, we would appreciate it if you would subscribe to our YouTube channel. Even again, if you listen and watch on either one of those other places like that or Facebook, so that way we can get our subscribers up. It kind of opens the door for us to do some other things. And that's kind of one of our goals here is
Hey,
to.
Chris,
Hey, what?
this doesn't cost any money, does it?
No, you can
It's
listen and
like-
watch our show
Free.
for free. It's.
What value? What value?
I mean, it is 100%
It's a
free.
four-letter word that's okay to say. Free.
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 God, there's so many things I want to say to you right now. Freaking fall forward. You
So again,
big wussy.
while I'm finishing this up,
We're gonna get muted again.
while I'm finishing this up, please subscribe to our free YouTube channel. You guys won't regret it, but you might. But at the same time, we appreciate all the support. And now, as we bring everybody into the fold, Zach,
Yeah.
let's jump in on our last segment topics.
Okay, so we had to have this conversation in my current events class last week because they didn't understand.
War on Ukraine.
Well, we talked about that too.
Oh.
But no.
Inflation.
So we talked about that too. But
Brandon, did you say go Brandon?
anyway. No, we did not talk about it.
Did you talk about building back better? Did you talk about Elon Musk?
And he talked about us interrupting him when we
No, I'm
can't do
just
a
asking. You
point.
say you would talk about
No.
current events. I'm trying to guess.
Okay, well.
I didn't
okay.
take my
You-
medicine.
Hold on.
I'm trying-
We can tell.
So
No.
go
Okay,
ahead.
all right.
He's so off track now.
Yeah.
If you want to say a 4-letter word, do you want to say a 5-letter word? Come on, do it, Zach.
Oh, my goodness. Anyway.
I'm gonna push every
Son of
button.
a biscuit eater.
Yeah, but anyway. No, so we
Father
were,
Mucker.
Oh, holy shnikes. I mean, that's what I'm going to start doing now for you.
Shut the front door.
there we go. Yeah.
Go back off in your own backyard.
That Orbit commercial, you remember that? Oh, my goodness. No, but.
Dirty mouth.
No, but anyway,
There
so.
with the rails.
Yeah, the rails have gone. Yeah.
He's never going to get this segment
Oh,
out.
no.
Let's
We
go.
might as well just let's just go.
Fall forward.
Fall forward. Let's go. Okay.
Go ahead,
anyway.
Zach.
Okay, are you sure?
Maybe.
All right.
Hurry.
So we were talking in class, and students didn't understand that Division I scholarships, football and basketball, are the only ones that are 100%, okay, full rides. And they didn't understand that college scholarships are one-year contracts, and that you are renewed year after year after year after year. They had to argue with me. Said no. We discussed it. So, we've also talked about the transfer portal for athletes. What about the transfer portal for coaches? Because the new story that came out this week is Grambling State Volleyball, their coach decided, and this was reported down in Shreveport, Louisiana, that the new Grambling State Volleyball coach, Chelsea Lucas, decided to cut every player on the team.
This was a new coach. He was just
This is
hired
a
in February.
new, yes, this
So
is a
she's
new
only-
coach.
yeah.
Now, going into today,
So she didn't coach
She
the
had
team.
coached.
she was at Arkansas State before, and then she came in. So now she is a new coach as of February.
I believe is what I
Okay,
saw.
yeah, February, and so
Maybe she's got some people coming.
that is
17 of them.
17 apparently now. And so the story has evolved because from this initial story, because it's a huge story of everybody got cut. So there's 18 kids on the volleyball team. I think 14 that had scholarships and 4 walk-ons. And through the story, we had 2-3 open gyms, and then she talked to us and said, "Yeah, you're all gone. You're not coming back." And so it's, I guess for them, apparently, they don't know. It's so late in the volleyball transfer portal. They're trying to figure out, well, what are we going to do? Where are we going to go? And then on their end, academically, are my credits going to transfer? So the interesting story, I want to get you guys' take on it, is good, bad. I mean, coaches using this transfer portal this way to say, I'm going to get my team right away. What do you think?
When I looked that up, they weren't awful. They were 8 and 9,
Yeah. Around
5 and 6 in their SWAC conference. So it's not like they were a team that went 0 and 25 or something like that. So,
Yeah, but she just whacked everybody.
But
God.
if she went by what was allowed of her. She can bring in players and she can not renew scholarships. while it is probably okay to do, while it is legal to do, probably not ethical or moral in that sense. But all those kids have a chance to enter that transfer portal and go somewhere else.
I know. Wow.
Now, I think the story, because it's been a few days now, has passed. I think she's going to try and keep 4 to 5, but out of the 18, 14, 15 of them are gone.
I think I think probably where it was evolved was she told all of them that she was looking whether to renew, who to renew, and so everything kind of the story that she cut the whole team. Well, it wasn't the whole team. She probably told some of them go ahead and go, and she was going to keep some of them. But
She's only going to retain 4.
All right, so when a new coach gets hired and all the kids decide they want to leave,
That's okay.
that's okay, right? Is that
I
what
mean, look, the
right?
Mizzou guy just went to SLU.
So
I thought that was interesting.
SLU to LSU now, or Mizzou to LSU.
the
Pickett.
Pickett went to
That's what I'm saying.
SLU.
Yeah, so I'm saying he started at Mizzou, then went to LSU.
That was Pinson.
That was
Okay.
Pinson.
Okay.
Pickett is the
just-
guy who'd been there for 4 years. He's
Yeah.
going as a graduate
Okay.
transfer to SLU.
so
Which I thought was interesting.
So, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? I mean, hey, this is my team. I go to a couple open gyms. I'm like, yeah, no. I don't want you. I guess instead of not playing them, or if I got other kids that want to come here and I can utilize that transfer portal, yeah. By God, why not? Who cares? I'm in charge of that whole program.
This may absolutely backfire on her next year.
Sure.
I think she goes 5-20.
But when you're the head coach, especially at an institution like that, you're in charge of the whole thing. So it's my job I want to implement my philosophy. Maybe I don't know a lot about volleyball, but maybe I want some kids who can actually dig the ball, and we're going to play more the defensive style and let other people screw up. And I don't know. I applaud somebody who's got the marbles to do something like that, because that's pretty big. That's a pretty big, bold move there, Cotton.
And I wonder if there was some underlying things, or if
Okay.
Grambling was like, hey, you need to,
Well, as the stories are starting to evolve, what they apparently had played, so she was at Arkansas State, the coach was. They played Arkansas State. I think there was an exchange of things going on, whether it was players to players or players to coaches. And so her first day when she came in, and this is through an anonymous player that, doesn't obviously want to be named, but first thing she said was, I bet you didn't expect to see my face again. That was the first team meeting, first thing that coach said. I bet you didn't expect to see my face again. So that's why the kids are saying, hey, this isn't right, because she had this planned all along that she planned on cutting us as soon as she got this job.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe it's not a good fit.
It may not be.
I mean, let's think about before we had the transfer portal. You couldn't do anything like this. You're pulling a bunch of walk-ons. So, again, how do you turn – we were talking about this about Gates. How do you turn Mizzou around real quick? Utilize transfer portal. Okay, so I'm taking this job. Maybe there's a bunch of a-hole players. Maybe that's what they are.
what is
And I come in, and the first thing I see is they don't take practicing seriously. They obviously got issues with me. Okay, that's what I want to sit here and fight. No, I'm just going to go ahead and say, yeah, you're gone.
There's a reason they finished 13th in the SEC. If you want to not finish 13th in the SEC, maybe you need players who aren't 13th best in the SEC.
Yeah.
You're talking about Mizzou.
Yeah, I was talking about Mizzou in that sense, but it would
I
be
get-
the same thing in the.
Yeah.
You want. She maybe had a much more successful program at Arkansas State. Wanted something like that.
Well, they were
Grambling was
They were
500.
talking about the Cinderella team, St. Peter's,
Yeah.
and some of them guys are going to go in the portal.
No,
and-
the 3 best players, they're all gone.
Yeah,
Because
and
her coach left.
Well, I know, but people are talking about how they may not be able to go somewhere else and do what they did
Well,
there.
the one was the guy with the mustache.
The redhead dude that
What's
got
his,
the
he transferred from St. Peter's to go to Bryant. in Rhode. You guys know where Bryan is, right?
No.
Providence, Rhode Island.
Blair, if you're
It's
watching the
it's
show, can you tell
other-
us where Bryant is?
You can
Tell us how to get there.
You can actually get there in a boat.
Oh, okay.
Without going through Canada. But he he left St. Peter's, a team that went to the Elite Eight, to go to the other school in Providence, Rhode Island. So, yes.
So he didn't even go. I thought he was doing it to go somewhere bigger.
No. They wanted out because their coach left. Coach went to Seton Hall. I'm surprised they didn't end up at Seton Hall.
Well, that's what I thought.
Maybe they're not good enough to go see
The
Hall.
I was gonna
The
say
other
when they
two
were
are-
all
the
rolling
other
out 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2", and you know playing against 6'7", 6'8", 6'10".
Well, yeah.
I know,
Stuff.
but I mean, I thought when I first heard the story, I thought, oh, I guess they're gonna go Seton Hall.
Yeah.
The other two are still kind of hanging out there. They haven't announced those destinations, so they might still end up there.
See, that's another thing. I mean, you talk about this transfer portal. If you're the athlete, you're betting on yourself, and you're betting that you're going to get picked up. I mean, but like Nick Saban talked about for football, and then you also talk about just for basketball, there's so many teams. Okay, let's look at basketball. Or no, it's Gino. There's how many D1 teams?
300 something.
300 something. Okay, it was Gino who was talking about it. It's 300 some odd teams, and they said there's like 2,500 that put into this transfer portal. And he wound up doing the math, and I don't know what he said, but he's like, that's 5 a team, every team, you know, something, whatever. There's going to be people that aren't going to get picked up.
Yeah.
And so what are they doing?
Well, why not bet on yourself? You have the opportunity.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the numbers. I wonder how many of those people that enter the transfer portal go back to the school that they left, because you have that option to do that. But I haven't.
Do you
seen
get
or
picked
heard
up?
that number.
Do you get your scholarship?
Has Pinson got picked
Well,
up?
no. Once you enter the transfer portal, the original school can pull your scholarship.
Yeah.
So
That's what I'm
after
saying.
that year, your scholarship,
That's
you
what
don't
Gino
have a
was-
scholarship anywhere. It's not like it's,
Yeah.
but they could give it back to you.
So is Pinson signed anywhere?
Yes. I think he ended up.
Please tell me it's the Memphis Tigers. Just so
I-
it's another Tigers.
Actually, I want to say it was Arkansas.
You know what? Now that you say that, it might have been right. But so my God, he's already done it twice now.
So he's got to sit.
Well,
He's got to sit a year.
He has to sit a year.
Your
Yeah.
second transfer in the
Second.
portal, you only get one free transfer. The second
So
one, you got to
does he
sit
lose
a
a
year.
year eligibility?
Yes. No, he doesn't lose a year. He
That's
just
city here.
he has to sit a year.
So what's the?
It's like the original transfer rules.
What's the quarterback he's now at West Virginia and they're
JT Daniels?
JT Daniels.
He just left. He was at USC and then went to Georgia.
Yes.
But now he can go to West Virginia, but he has to, I think he's transferring as a graduate transfer so he can play right away.
There you go.
So,
I mean, 3 colleges.
A lot of movement.
A lot of movement.
A lot of movement.
But you know what? Hey, when you're a coach and you want to pull that, hey, go for it. I don't care.
Pinson has not committed yet.
There are rules in place to do this. Let them do it. If it's the Wild West, then it's the Wild West.
Well, I mean, look at Deion Sanders. He's only going to have like 3 or 4 scholarship kids.
That's what he said.
He said, why am I going to give some freshman one of my spots when I can get all these kids from the portal that have experience that are going to come in and be ready to play?
Bingo.
So, sorry, freshmen.
So how about that for a change of dynamics anyway? Where for years, let's use basketball for an example. You're getting these 5-star freshmen, can't miss prospects. That's the ones you want, and they might go to the NBA after 1 year or 2 tops. Now, take that example. I want the experienced guys. I want the guys who are junior, senior, and they know how to play. Now, you're still going to have those can't miss guys, but let's use the star rating. Those 4, maybe 5-star guys on the fence, 4.5. Those are the guys now who, okay, that's great, but I want the guy he's proven commodity, like you just said.
I think for Deion, it's easy to be able to do that because it's Deion.
Well, yeah.
But for almost for 85 to 90% of coaches, Saban can do the same thing if he wanted those types of that level of coaches.
But you
That's
can,
roster management for some of these other guys that's saying if they have to re-recruit their roster every year, some of them want some of those. They'll take those freshmen because they at a certain level and then know that, okay, I probably got them for a couple of years at least before they want to transfer. So I don't have to re-recruit my whole team.
Well, I know. That's what
every year.
I'm looking around. Thinking the dynamic has changed for a head coach.
And then you add in the things like those COVID years for those kids that you've still got sophomores that have another year that have 3 years left because they can add another year on.
And we're going to add another thing to it: the name, image, likeness.
Well, yeah, like the dude from St. Peter's has got the what? Is it Buffalo Wild Wings or whatever?
Oh yeah.
It's something. Yeah, I mean he's. Yeah, I mean, the college sports has changed so drastically in the last 2 years.
And that's the one thing Deion Sanders can bring that not many other coaches can bring is the connection to those national companies, not just the local ones. Every college has
Well, that
those
kid
local
from St.
ones.
Mary's, that's where he ended up going. I guess that would be
Yeah, the
one
Kevin
of his
Col-
yeah,
the
that's
Coleman.
there's one of his freshmen.
And he picked up the number one recruit in the country who on decision day left the Florida State hat on the table to pick
They
Jackson
pick it,
State.
Yeah.
so
I'm interested to see what they're
So
going to be like.
I wonder if he recruited them knowing that at some point he's moving out of Jackson State to another place to take them with him.
So it's almost like with the transfer portal and kids only maybe going to be there for a couple years, whether they're good enough to go to the pro or they're go to the pros or transfer out. It's almost like being a JUCO coach. Mm-hmm. You know, I gotta say, Gene Bess at Three Rivers, who has more wins than Mike Krzyzewski, by the way. I just want, and is not in the Hall of Fame, which is the greatest basketball travesty.
Just make up a new word for it. It's that bad.
It's terrible.
How is he not in the Hall?
He's not in the Hall of Fame.
Such knucklehead.
He's not in the Basketball Hall of Fame. He has 2 national championships. I don't know how many times they played for the championship. He has more wins than Mike Krzyzewski. Think about it. You get kids for 2 to 3 years tops. In the third year is their redshirt. That's it. And you've won that many games. And he's not in the Basketball Hall of Fame.
It's insane.
It's just it's insane. I don't understand it. But Drazen Petrovic or whatever, yeah, he's in there. There's a handful of guys I don't think should be in the Hall of Fame. Now, was he a good player? Yeah, he's a good player. But body of work, no. Gene Best, body of work, it's no question.
So is he not going to get it? You don't think?
I mean, he'll probably get in at some point. I mean, he just now stopped coaching.
Yeah, I know. He's doing it forever.
But you're now in that. Go back to this. You're now in this. You're only going to get these kids for a couple of years. You might as well be a JUCO coach. Mm-hmm. It's so. It is. It's roster management. I might only have these guys for 1 or 2 years. Okay, so you got to start thinking in that mindset.
But
So does that change
JUCO
the game?
coaches don't go find players with experience.
No, they're finding
freshmen.
They're finding D1.
It'd be like the second
They're finding
half
D1
of the
guys
JUCO.
that can't make grades. That's
Yeah.
what they're doing.
Yeah.
The nationally ranked, the last chance used. They're finding D1 talent that just. Can't
I'm
make
saying
grades.
on the here's your time frame with this
okay.
kid.
All right.
Yeah.
That's it.
So does that change? Does that change the game that is actually played?
Well, yeah.
Football.
I think it's going to. I think
basketball.
there's going to be more parity.
You think?
I mean, we saw that in the tournament. I think this year in basketball, anyway. I mean, there's a lot more parity.
There are people transferring into Blue Bloods, but in many instances, there's more transferring out to go find more playing opportunities, which means that talent spreads out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Where Nick Saban is not hoarding five-star cornerbacks. If they're not enough playing time, they're going somewhere else.
5 stud running backs.
Well,
and
but
the running back
still
only
is.
plays their senior year and then gets drafted
Well, he
because
still
he's a
is.
stud.
Yeah, he's still doing that because it's Alabama and it's Nick Saban.
But you also, if you're that guy if you're the kid who's a freshman behind the sophomore that's going to be there for a while, I have an opportunity to maybe bet on myself and go play somewhere else. I have the opportunity.
Right.
Will I? I don't know. If it's Alabama, I might want to stay here.
I'm going to stay. That's the upper echelon. Now, Clemson took a dip. We'll see what winds up happening because the D coordinator left.
Yeah.
We'll see what Devo
But if I'm at Texas A&M, I'm moving. Yeah. Oklahoma, moving.
Yeah.
USC.
Outside of
Maybe
Alabama,
not now.
Are they relevant?
They might be with Lincoln Riley.
Outside of
Alabama.
Alabama, outside of Georgia, I really
Ohio
can't.
State?
I see. I'm still leaving.
No, because you
wait. You're
Still
going
in
to
the
say
Big
it.
Ten.
Oh, the Big Ten. Oh, Big Ten.
Well, no.
Hey, who won the Big Ten last year?
Is that still a
Michigan.
conference?
Michigan, didn't it? Did Michigan win it?
Think I got a logo and everything. Yes.
It was
They have
Michigan.
uniforms and everything. No.
How many teams are in the Big Ten? 10?
14.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What a dumb name.
Rutgers is in the
Yeah.
Big Ten.
Is Maryland in the Big Ten?
Yes. It's in the footprint.
They just let everyone in. Creighton's in the Big East.
Nebraska.
Money. But
Sure.
Let Gonzaga in too. Who knows? Make it
They
even.
they did talk about trying to get Gonzaga because we said however many weeks ago Gonzaga going to the Big East because that's a basketball only type conference, or the schools that are in the Big East don't have football. I know, but go ahead. Gonzaga said no because
Travel.
travel. I know.
It can't be in the Big East
Why can't it?
because it's not in the East.
If you fold the map correctly, it could be.
It's not in the East. They can't be in the Big East. Hell, Creighton shouldn't even be in the Big East.
Even Blair knows that they shouldn't be in the Big East.
That's the dumbest idea. You got to change the whole name of the conference. They should. Hey,
The Big
couldn't
Ten
be-
has 14 people.
Couldn't be
14
Big
teams.
East anymore.
No.
at least the Pac-12 change. Do they still have 12 teams, or is it they have 14 now?
Well, the Big 12 changed it to the used to be Big 12. Now they're the
Big Eight,
medium to
Big
so-called
12.
medium-sized 12.
What a large farm.
A leader.
Leader
of football.
12 leader. Oh gosh.
I don't know.
No.
All right, so this I wanted to ask. I know we're trying to wrap up here, but I saw this. I want to get your guys' opinion.
Oh Lord.
So our debatable topic is it okay for athletes to dislike, this is pro athletes, to dislike where they are playing? And can or should they voice their displeasure? And this goes to the story of the third baseman from the Phillies who had 3 errors and then was caught on TV during the game, and then you could read their lips, and he says, I can't remember exactly what it was. He's like, I hate this bleeping place.
The NBA would have fined him.
Would have fined him, right? But is it okay in your opinion? Now,
Can't hide the
he had to
dugout.
apologize. He had to apologize afterwards. He's like, I was in the heat of the moment. I had all these errors. Everybody was booing me.
Said he was sorry.
He said he was sorry. What do you think? Is it okay? Is it okay to be like,
Dude,
I didn't want to be drafted by so-and-so?
You mean
But
do like Manning?
No, if you get, well, or that. But no, but what I'm saying is you get drafted, you're playing for said
Get drafted
team.
by the Bengals. No, that's how it was for a long time.
Yeah.
Listen, in baseball, it's different because when you're drafted, by the time you make it to the big league, you've probably already signed that second contract, and at that point, I'm like, you signed to stay there.
Well,
Don't blame your bad decision,
So-
your bad business decision, on the fans and the fact that your glove is like a garden brick.
Skillet.
So the difference though between baseball and other professional sports is the only thing that you can do as a player when you're drafted. If you're drafted right out of high school, you can choose not to sign and you can go to college and play, and then you can be drafted again. So you get drafted multiple times. But pro baseball teams cannot trade their draft picks. So you can't hold out and say, I don't want to be drafted by the Phillies. I don't want to play for the Phillies. So the Phillies would then turn and trade their draft. They don't.
They can baseball can trade once the player's drafted. They can trade them,
But they won't do that.
but they can't trade. Like I can't,
They can't
go
trade
to
the
him
pick.
and say I'll give you my number 1 pick if
But-
you give me 3 of yours.
But what they can, and so if you use like the Manning thing and say that they're not going to be like, well, I'm not going to sign, okay, and
Yeah, that's
and,
they
and
could say
pull
very-
one of those things. But there's not a lot of rights that a baseball player has, even while he's in the minors. As a matter of fact, they just now started giving them a little bit more because they had basically trash.
Yeah.
They didn't get paid. They got paid seasonally. So when you get to the majors, they buy your contract. Now you get more money. But at the same time, you're playing there, and if you remember the movie Basketball. At the beginning, when that guy says, after playing for this team, a short stint here, I'm happy playing for Minnesota, and they're like, you're playing for Detroit. He goes, Detroit, I don't care, because he's making the money.
Right.
So the point is you're getting paid to play a game. You might hate the fact that, these are the same fans that booed Santa Claus, okay? The same city. So when you suck, and they're going to let you know about it. City of brotherly love. Brutal honesty as well.
until you can't feel the
And
baseball.
batteries. They'll throw
And
batteries.
throw batteries
So what
and
you're
everything
saying
else.
is I should be from Philly.
And they're going to use profanity, Zach. So just
Oh,
saying.
well, I wasn't included. I didn't know that part.
So
I am not going to Philly. They may curse, and my son may hear it. Oh, get over it.
it's like this. If you don't like it, well, tough. As for a
But
trade,
my question is it okay for you as the athlete to say, no, I don't like these people?
sure, yeah, you
You
can.
mean like-
It's probably not a great business decision.
There's
You
one.
can do whatever you
Stanton
want.
did when we were trying to get Stanton here, and he was like, I don't want to go to the Cardinals.
I don't want to go to St. Louis. Chris Bryant. St. Louis is boring. Then don't
Oh.
come here.
But I'm
But
saying,
Colorado's wait. Colorado has other things that you
Anybody
can
see
do.
his anybody else see his adventure
Rocky
in left
Mountain
field the other day?
skiing,
Yeah,
sightseeing.
yeah. Hi.
They got a lot of heights.
Chris Bryant's playing left field for the Rockies.
Yeah, I
and
bet it was pretty.
cramped out underneath the fly ball and dropped the sucker. 2 runs scored.
Love it.
And then they just gave him all kinds of crap.
Chris Bryant is now one of my favorite players to root against.
Why?
Just because I don't like Chris Bryant.
Because he's boring.
I don't like what he
he's
said.
boring.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's boring.
don't talk about my town. Really, this is not the guy. I'm sure that's what all the Phillies players.
Kid, is he not allowed to?
Sure, you can, but you know what? Deal with it.
You can
Yeah,
do it.
so
I'm
when he
saying
comes to St. Louis, we all cuss at him. He can get over it, and all the kids around can get over it. Because there's gonna be
good catch.
there's gonna be some drunk, not me, but there's gonna be some drunk Cardinals fans cursing.
There's
at
gonna
him.
be
Fine.
There's a good reason they put that beer garden way up in right field,
Way up in-
away from the field mics.
because you can't throw that beer.
Yeah.
You can't hit that player then. Hey, but so when you sit there
answer
and
the
mouth off
question,
at your
though.
town, and you
Yeah.
got some little girls from Philadelphia, like little bitty kids walking up and going, "Hey," and they're giving you the double barrel finger. You just got to deal with it because you said it. You
Right.
deal with it.
Hey, well, that and you booted 3 balls. In
Who
one
was it?
That's true.
What's
It
his
was their
name?
third. I can't
Field the damn
remember.
ball and everybody likes you.
I was their third baseman. I can't remember.
He's so irrelevant. Nobody knows.
Right.
The next day they actually had they had 2 other people taking ground balls at third. One of them being Bryce Harper.
yeah.
Yeah, so there was a video of him the very next day. They were
Bryce Harper was taking
ground
ground
balls at
Oh
third
my
base.
God.
That was a joke.
Cast it.
No, I think it was the very next day, but
Yeah.
it was kind of a joke. But they're like, they made a kind of a funny joke about the fact that they're trying out new
I
third
just-
basemen.
I still would have wished the Cards would have got Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
Well,
Darn right.
he isn't the kind of guy that
Can
they
he
want to
pitch?
get.
Can he pitch?
I really don't.
But does he get on base?
But does he? What are we trying to fix?
Yeah.
Gets on base.
I don't know.
I-
Well,
so-
you guys
hey.
didn't really answer that question.
I
but
did.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Yes,
I think
it's
everybody
not a
did
great
answer
business
it.
decision, but yes, he has the right to do it.
It's either Alec Baum or Bryson Stott. That's the third baseman.
Long hair.
I don't know. Well,
I
it
don't
would be
know.
Bryson Stott then.
Okay.
I don't know either one of them.
Let me how many errors he has.
I don't
So
know.
hey, here's something that was really cool that happened the other night that I was at that game that you guys weren't at. One other thing cool besides Pujols hitting that Ding Dong Johnson. So
Blair's.
we were watching.
I don't like Blair.
So we were watching the Royals play.
All early practices.
We were
next
watching
Yep.
the Royals
me.
play, and
No, that was nice. The fuzz went away.
I know, right? Because you're bringing the fuzz. So the Royals went to their pen, and here comes the pride of Potosi.
Yes.
Yeah,
That
Dylan
was
Coleman.
cool.
And I got to watch him play in high school basketball. And here he is.
Yeah,
And-
coached against them.
And you know, it was really kind of cool too. Is just like, oh my gosh, man, it's so cool. Hey, we talk to each other about it. There's some people who are from Potosi right next to us,
Oh, that's cool.
and they're just like, yeah, I've known him since he's a little boy, and it's like, yeah, my daughter here took pictures and stuff. Was doing like scrapbooking stuff for the school for the yearbook
That's
and things
neat.
with him.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many people from Potosi went up there to watch that,
Yeah.
but. I was there rooting for him. I was like, yeah, I hope he strikes them out, you know?
Yeah.
And
Unless it would have been Pujols.
oh yeah,
He could have hit it. Yeah, Pujols. That would have been a great story. Well, you weren't there. Or you wouldn't because you were at the game. But if you were listening to it, Edmonds had a really cool story. I guess he had talked to him beforehand.
They interviewed him.
Oh, did they?
There's a whole interview of him. Yeah.
And they said, hey, what's it like coming back here? He's like, oh, obviously it's growing up, coming here. And would you get a chance to talk to Albert? And he's like, no, I'd love to, but I mean, he's, a guy who grew up watching. And no, I saw him at a distance and I just let him do his thing. And Edmonds is telling the story. And he's like, man, when I'm done, I'm going to go tell Albert. And I guarantee Albert's going to go search him out and be like, hey, man, introduce him. That'd be
pretty cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Gosh, yes, that'd be cool. I mean, a buddy.
Could you sign this? That's it. I mean,
I'd be like that.
I know, I would too.
That's like having Bernie Fedorko sign my jersey.
I saw a guy the other day. He ran into Pujols at Home Depot. Got a picture of himself in
cool.
West County. Or no, sorry, it was at Dick's.
Okay.
And he was at. So me and my wife just assumed this is what he was doing at Dick's, but he was at the Blues game that night.
Buying a jersey.
So he was probably at Dick's buying Blues stuff, and that had been the first Blues game that Pujols had ever been to. And they interviewed him during the game, and Yachty was there kicking a few back, of course. Wayno, and it was pretty cool. All three of them were there.
By the way, our booting third baseman is Alec Baum.
Okay.
Bomb, whatever.
Yeah.
He definitely bombed out. But just throwing it out.
I hate this effing city. That's what he said. That's hilarious. Philly fans, oh my gosh.
How about probably every time he goes to the play, he's getting booed.
And it's funny, you think of Philly, and you think of their fans, and then you think of someone like Iverson that thrived there.
But he's the kind of guy who, if
Probably
you're going to curse
because
at
of
me,
his- probably
I'm
because of-
okay with that.
Probably because of his language on the court before they were.
You're probably right. They were probably, this guy represents our blankety blank city.
Wait,
Blanking awesome.
so were you offended when Big Poppy, after the Boston Marathon bombings, said what he said? Were you okay with that?
Is what it is.
What did he say? I don't.
He said, "This is our blanking city,
Yep.
or our blanking town."
Yep.
Yeah.
You don't remember
I
that?
like Poppy.
English was his second language.
Yeah, he's ESL, so that's
Yeah,
okay.
he
He's,
didn't know
oh
exist.
my god!
Somebody wrote it in the teleprompter.
Right.
ESL, it's English as second language.
San
That's
Diego?
100%.
Who put curse words on the teleprompter?
Oh, man. And the show has hit a new low.
Well, I mean, it's funny you were talking about delays.
There's far lower lows.
Delays and everything, and all I can keep thinking of is Will Smith. Keep my wife's name out of your mouth. I mean, gosh, there's been so much stuff made of it. Oh, great
He
stuff.
got a 10-year
As
ban.
teachers, have any of
Is
you
that-
guys mentioned send it to a student, I go, listen, if you do that again, I'm going to go Will Smith on you. Anybody else said that in the class?
Yes. I've said that to a kid already. Hey, the good...
In
hey,
a joking sense, but
listen,
yes.
guys, we're really going to have to clean this show up because I'm hoping that Elon Musk will go ahead and try to make a bid to buy us as well. Like
I'm sure
he's trying to buy Twitter.
I'm sure he's got
For
$35,
what?
$40
Just
laying
a
around.
soda, dinner.
That'd be more than anyone else.
Hey, free.
That'd be more than anyone else is paying us.
Well, no, not true. My folks, they.
Yes, your folks bought us food.
Tiny's bought dinner for us.
Huh?
Tiny's bought dinner for us.
Yes.
There you go.
Yep, we got
so
two.
we're two. Now, hey, so if Elon Musk or
bought
his
donuts
people are
for school.
watching, we will be glad to help you out with your business venture. I know Twitter's here, and we're like right underneath Twitter.
We are available to listen to offers.
Yes, we are definitely listening to
Well,
offers.
the 3
for our
listeners that are watching us right now.
they're like,
they're
you guys are
us.
still on.
Oh yeah, it's us 3. Gosh, we've hit an all-time low.
So we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. I appreciate you guys watching the show. We'll be back again next week with another episode of the Coach's Box. Until then, you can check us out on Apple Podcasts and listen. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. We do appreciate that. And if you know any business who'd like to sponsor with us, we have pretty good sponsorship rates, $25 for the first month, $15 after that. We're just here to keep the lights on and keep doing, fun stuff. So for all the guys, we will see you guys next week. Have a good night.
Peace.